Say what you will about the Evil Dead remake, but that was the movie that Sam Raimi wanted to make, and his satisfaction with the project gave Fede Alvarez a platform in which to make his own original cinematic creations. Don't Breathe follows three delinquent criminals from Detroit who attempt to rob a blind man's home at night only to come face to face with the sinister reality of what the blind man is actually capable of. That simple premise gives the film a foundation for Alvarez to craft a very tense and gripping horror that places most of its emphasis on attention to sound, cinematography, and editing. Don't Breathe is truly remarkable primarily for its filmmaking, as Alvarez clearly has a real understanding of how to generate a perpetual sense of danger and occasionally toy with our expectations, even if there are some scenarios that felt mildly predictable. Anyone familiar with the genre will have inevitably seen a film like this before, but the creativity and execution make up for this shortcoming. Many scenes are quite rightfully composed of almost no dialogue, and Alvarez uses this to his advantage to maintain a very isolated and lonely experience in which the characters are relentlessly and maliciously hunted. I was surprised how the film was able to sustain my attention during very long, drawn-out scenes, mostly because of the way the camera lingered around rooms or the intercuts between each character's own experience to create a very unnerving sense of disorientation. This was particularly prominent during a basement chase, in which the switch to night vision style cinematography to illuminate the completely darkened room added a very eerie and voyeuristic effect, especially with the haunting, hollowed-eyed look it gave to the characters. The initial break-in still managed to uphold the tension long before Stephen Lang's animalistic blind man dominates with his presence. There was something very creepy and unorthodox about Detroit's dilapidated and barren setting. In fact, there was very little life outside the central characters, which makes the film feel like Nightmare on Elm Street. I did find myself comparing the film to the style and tone of David Fincher's Panic Room, but Don't Breathe survives on its own merit of brilliance. That's not to say that the film isn't flawed. There are many logical holes in its narrative that made me question certain elements within the storytelling, and sometimes the film has inconsistencies, such as giving the blind man a super sniffer ability when it conveniences the plot. The fact that the main characters are criminals may be a turn-off for some, but once inside the house, it takes a back seat because we experience the film from a very neutral perspective in which there is genuine sympathy to be had for the characters' deeply troubling circumstances. In all, Don't Breathe succeeds because of Alvarez's effective understanding of how to deliver tension and brooding suspense in a very gratifying and provocative way. There are issues in its logic that can't always be counteracted with reason, but it doesn't hurt the overall experience. I genuinely felt trapped in this harrowing nightmare, and I can't help but feel emotionally challenged by some of its ideas, especially the more disturbing moments. It isn't unique or game-changing like some people seem to think it is, but it is a fantastic exercise in horror techniques that haven't been this well implemented in quite some time. Don't Breathe truly and undoubtedly sticks to its core premise, and sometimes I actually find myself forgetting to breathe.